When people think about going to the next level in their life, they often think about things that they need to do, things they need to add, habits they need to form. However, a lot of the ways to elevate to get to the next level requires getting rid of certain things. So today, I want to tell you 10 different things that I got rid of in order to take my life to the next level. Hello everyone, welcome back. My name is Carys, and if you enjoy content like this, then make sure you subscribe, join the family, and check out the links in the description below because you will find things like my vlog channel, my audio podcast, Highest and Best, my Instagram, and all of that good stuff. Okay, if you are ready to hear the 10 things I got rid of, then let's talk about it. The first thing that I got rid of was perfectionism. Now, I am a planner at heart. However, it got to a fault whereby I would plan so much that I would never actually take the leap. I would never actually take action. And it got to that point that I had paralysis by analysis. Because knowledge is power, but without action, it's just potential power. I would plan so much because I wanted everything to be perfect before I actually stepped out and did that thing, that then I never actually stepped out and did that thing. When you're striving for perfection, it can lead to burnout, it can lead to anxiety, and it can actually lead to dissatisfaction. So for me, I had to learn to let go, do as much planning and preparing as necessary, but then actually accept that progress was better than perfection. Number 2 is the care of other people's opinions. Now for me, I believe that I seeked opinions of other people so badly because of the fact that I was bullied growing up. Looking for that external validation, it is extremely toxic when you have to learn how to validate yourself. The fact is, everybody has their own opinions and they're entitled to that. However, it's exactly that. It is their opinion. It's not yours and you don't need to carry the weight of them. It's impossible to please everybody. And honestly, being liked by everybody isn't necessarily a good thing, because if you have things you stand by, which you should, not everybody is going to agree with them. The way that I see people's opinions is that they have a lens, right? Your lens is your perspective that has been built over your life, that has been crafted and shaped by your experiences, by things you've went through trauma, through history with your family. Everything has begun to shape your lens as you have gone throughout your life. Therefore, the lens that you are seeing other people through, your opinion of them, your judgment of them, it's done through their perspective. And so it is biased. You are the only person who has lived your life and know the things you went through and know the things you've done on your own. They know the things that you've done in the dark. The only opinions that you should care about is what God thinks of you and then what you think of yourself. Getting rid of that care and stress about other people's opinions, you can live a much more free life. You can live unbothered by other people and what they may say, or what they may think of you, or what they're going to say about the outfit you're wearing, or what they're going to say about you doing this specific work project. Let it go and get rid of it. It is impossible to please everybody. And to be honest, being liked by everybody isn't necessarily a good thing. Which leads me on to number 3, which is getting rid of people pleasing. People pleasing is a full-on energy drainer. It's the way that you are going to be saying yes to everybody else and saying no to yourself. It's not letting go of care for people at all. It's being able to set boundaries and standards for yourself and how other people treat you, because people treat you how you treat you. When I first started in the world of real estate, I was that 24/7 realtor. Whenever you text me, whenever you called me, I was there anytime. However, I learned that people then took advantage of that. People will be calling me at 2 a.m. because they were stressed about the house they put an offer in on. No more. I learned over the years that you have to set boundaries of the things that you accept, because or else people will take advantage. Now, my career and my work has changed since I started in real estate. However, when it comes to my boundaries, an example I like to give is the fact of my time that I allow people to contact me. I am 5 a.m. to 9 a.m. pretty much unavailable. Unless it is urgent, those 4 hours in the morning, they are for me. Unless you really need me, I will get back to you at 9. From 9 a.m. to 8 p.m., I've got you whatever you need. And then same thing, after 8 o'clock, I will likely be getting back to you the next day at 9 o'clock. Because between 8 and 9, I'm not on my phone, I'm relaxing, I'm getting ready for bed, I'm reading, I'll maybe watch a little bit of TV, but that's my boundary. That's what I've set. I'm a big believer that you have to fill your own cup in order to flow and pour into other people. So if you are constantly people pleasing, you are saying yes to everybody else, and then you are going to be drained and you can't pour from an empty cup. The fourth thing that I got rid of in order to level up was unnecessary stress. I used to be an over stressor to the point that if I wasn't stressed out, I would then get stressed because of not knowing what I should be stressed about. It was extremely toxic. Now I rarely get stressed. Now, one of the biggest things that helped me with that was trusting in God's plan. Trusting that He has it figured out. He's always working in my favor, and knowing that, like Jesus says, by worrying, I cannot get an hour back in my life. So what's the point? Another thing as well was being able to think every single time I started to stress about something, can I control it? If I can control it, okay, logically, not emotionally, what can I do to fix it? How can I solve this problem? How can I find the solution? If I looked at it and I couldn't control it, that's it. It's done. I don't need to be stressing about it because I can't control it. Another mindset shift that helped me with unnecessary stress was the this or better approach. Now, this is whereby you're looking at a situation. It could be before something happens or it could be after something happens that you can use this. And it's looking at it in the sense of, if something didn't work out the way I wanted to, it's this or it's better. For example, we're going to use a real estate example. You're buying a house, you put an offer in, and this is where you're using it before. So you're putting the offer in and you detach yourself from the outcome and saying it's going to be this house or it's going to be better. Okay. That then takes away the stress of you worrying if your offer is going to get accepted. Okay. The next day you get word back that your offer was not accepted and they accepted somebody else's. The way you use this again is saying, okay, I did not get this house. It's going to be something better. So you can use it before to detach yourself from the outcome, as well as after to stop yourself stressing the fact that it didn't work out the way that you wanted it to. Okay, the fifth thing I got rid of was overthinking. Now, I do have a full video of this on my YouTube channel, so I will leave it linked in the description below so you can go and watch that after this one. But I was getting that paralysis by analysis when it came to decision making. I would overthink every single scenario. I would overthink every single issue. I would overthink every conversation, every situation, to the point that it delayed progress. It delayed healing. It delayed many things in my life because I overthought, filled and fueled with emotion. It ties into perfectionism. It also ties into overthinking about other people's opinions. It ties into many things. But just know, most of the time, overthinking does not serve you. And learning how to make more logical, faster decisions will take you far in life. The sixth thing I got rid of was negative media. This went in a couple of different ways. Number one is I never watch the news. If something catastrophic is happening, if we're getting a hurricane coming to Florida, someone's gonna tell me. I will get an alert on my phone. I don't read it, I don't watch it, I don't listen to the YouTube videos, I don't watch it on TV. The news, they're fear-mongering. Like, they purposely create these crazy headlines in order to make you fear. It's constantly evoking a negative emotion that I just don't see the point in it. I genuinely don't know how some people literally read the news every single morning and then just go about living their life. If you are someone who is like that, or at least likes to keep up to date with the world events and things that are going on, then maybe just limit it. Maybe just limit it to certain pieces. Maybe it's finance, if that's what you want to look into. Or maybe it's environmental things, if that's what you like to read about. Just maybe limit your exposure to all of the negative media and understand that all of the way that things are phrased, things are put in their perspectives, are all to make you fear. Another way I got rid of negative media was going through my social media accounts and binge unfollowing anyone who didn't make me feel good, anyone who I didn't want to associate with anymore, anyone who made me feel like I compared myself to them. Got rid of them. Social media should be used as a tool, not a toy. Use it to create content. And if you don't want to use it to create content, at least follow people who maybe provide advice that you want to follow, maybe inspire you to do certain things. Create your own feed that helps you get to the next level, get advice that you want rather than a social media feed that you go through, you drain your energy, and then you feel terrible about yourself afterwards. And the last negative media that I got rid of was listening to secular music. It's crazy because I listen to some of the music that I used to listen to, and it's terrible. Curse words, talking negatively about women and their image and all this stuff. No, I do not listen to music like that anymore. Typically, I'm listening to Christian music or I'm listening to maybe some country. I've been loving Christian like rap and that reggae kind of music, but all the lyrics are so empowering and they praise the Lord, and it's a good vibe and you feel good when you're listening to it. So you may need to go onto your music app, whether it's Spotify or Apple, and binge delete a lot of music that doesn't make you feel good, because lyrics are powerful. So when you're listening to them, be careful of the words that are being put into your brain. The seventh thing that I got rid of was limiting beliefs. Now, I'm a believer that the version of you with no limiting beliefs is the version of you that God created you to be. Yes. It is you at your highest potential with no limiting beliefs, because limiting beliefs are actually things that we put on ourselves. They are either things that we have decided that we are going to put a ceiling on for us, or it's something that somebody else has put on us that we have decided to accept as our own. And you do not have to do that. I do have a full video on getting rid of limiting beliefs to break this down fully, so I will leave it linked in the description below. But to summarize, you need to figure out what your limiting beliefs are, and then you need to get to the root of them. Identify that narrative and find the root of it, and then you need to flip the script. Sometimes the insecurities that we have ourselves are given to us by insecure people. Call out your insecurities by name. Know what they are, backtrack them, figure the root, flip the script, and decide how you're going to proceed, and practice them. Practice, 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 because sometimes you will slip up. Sometimes there are going to be things that are going to make you revert back. You need to make sure that you constantly keep pushing forward in order to get the new narrative ingrained into your brain. Watch the full video, it will help you in all of that. The eighth thing that I got rid of in order to level up my life was negative self-talk. Now, there is power of life and death in your tongue. The things you say, the words you use, they are powerful. And so you have to use them correctly, and you need to be very cautious with the things that you are saying. I challenge you over this next week, think about it, just 7 days. Think about it extra. I want you to think about what you are thinking about. What are you saying to yourself when you look in the mirror? What are you saying to yourself in the morning when you wake up? How are you talking to yourself when you are doing certain things for work? For the next 7 days, just be a little more self-aware and catch yourself. When it's something negative, flip it into something positive. Something that I like to do is I identify myself with positive emotions, but I never identify with negative emotions. Let me give you an example. When it comes to things about me waking up at 5 a.m. every day, I've been doing it for years. I am the person who wakes up at 5 a.m. I am the person who works out 5 or 6 days a week. I am the person who eats clean and nourishes my temple. I am the positive things about me. I am a productive person who is not susceptible to procrastination. You can identify as those strong, positive things. However, when you look at negative things, never identify with them. I'm mad, I'm sad, I'm tired. No, you can feel your emotions, but don't let them control you. Emotions are temporary, so you never want to attach to what they are. Other negative things, maybe a business idea didn't work out. You don't sit there and say, I'm a failure. No. Hey, it may not have worked out, but there's something better in store that I'm going to be doing. You figure out how to stop the negative self-talk and you don't identify with it. Number 9 is fear of failure. Every person who is successful has experienced some sort of failure in their life, but what they don't do is let it stop them. If something that you tried didn't work out, that's okay. It's another chapter in the story. That's why I love the phrase of doing it for the plot. Take the risk, start the business, try and do new things. If it doesn't work out, It's okay. Figure out how you can take things as a learning lesson. It's all a part of the progress, and you just have to adapt, evolve, and take the lesson that's taught within it. A phrase I love is that it's not a failure, it's an experiment. Never look at it like a failure. Look at it like an experiment. You tried it, it may not have worked out. Okay, great. Is there a lesson I can learn in it? Yes or no? Okay, move on. What's the next thing? Fear of failure? Get rid of it. Okay, the last thing that I got rid of in order to level up my life was victim mentality. Now, I went through a lot of trauma in my early 20s. There are only a handful of people who know the things I went through. And as the years went by, I was allowing all of that to shape who I was, but not in a positive way. So getting rid of a victim mentality, I stopped allowing the trauma to define who I was. I actually learned how to take the certain lessons throughout it in order to make me into who I was today. Throughout the years, as I spent healing and overcoming things, I learned how to reclaim my power. And the person that I was back then is completely and utterly a whole different person as who I am today. And I am extremely thankful for that. But I stopped allowing that victim mentality and that narrative play over and over in my head and allowing it to define who I was. Something that you should never do is have opinions on yourself, on who you were in the past based on the things that you know now. I am a whole different person now, which is great. However, what I cannot do is judge who I was back then, because I never knew any of the stuff back then. And when you're in the midst of chaos and you're in the midst of trauma, you don't see any of that stuff. You stay focused in your box of what's happening right there and then. But when you overcome it and when you heal from it, you have to step into the new chapter and stop letting it control you. Now look, these 10 things took years for me to be able to shed. It took forever. It took practice. It took a lot of tears, a lot of hard work in order to be able to get rid of these things, to take myself to the next level. Just know that you can do it too. But forever remember, it is an ongoing journey. And a lot of these things, they are things that you just have to keep practicing to keep making sure that they stay out of your life and they stay on that lower level. They don't come back up to get you. Okay, I want to know, what is one of the things that you plan to get rid of in order to elevate your life? Drop it in the comments below. I'd love to hear what it is. And if you enjoyed this video, then I'm sure you will enjoy this one next. Everything will be linked in the description below. Thank you for listening, and I'll see you in the next one.